with Kaiser.
We
And
can talk about that. We can get into that. The SummerSlam card taking shape, of course, with Drew McIntyre facing off with Imperium, having that great showdown with losing Kaiser. Basically, they're going back and forth at each other. Drew challenged Gunther right there, then and there, and Gunther was like, "I'm not performing here. Like I'm a main event star. I perform only at pay-per-views. I only defend the title at pay-per-views, and you're not worthy of it."
Premium live events.
PLEs, my bad.
We gotta get
PLEs, my bad. PLEs. And sitting there with that, and that goes into a battle with him and Lou with Kaiser, where he picks up the win. They attack him afterwards. Matt Riddle apparently is like his bro now, and he gets taken out as well. But at least we're getting that matchup set up, a big-time matchup. Drew's returning. Gunther has had this long reign. What do you guys think about that heading into that? Do you guys think – well, we'll get to our picks next week, of course, but what do you guys think about this matchup finally coming together, especially after WrestleMania 39? They tied into that a little bit there, where Gunther was calling him a failure for losing that Clash at the Castle, losing that WrestleMania 39. So what do you guys think about that?
Lou, can I go first on this one?
Yeah, you go.
All right. So, Clash at the Castle, we saw Sheamus against Gunther, and we can arguably say that was probably one of the top matches of the year. Yes. Physicality between both of them. I mean, obviously the atmosphere in the UK, but can we say that Drew McIntyre is a better wrestler than Sheamus? Like, do you get into it? Matter of fact, I'll erase that question because that's not the question I wanted to ask. Do you look forward to seeing a Drew McIntyre match more or a Sheamus match? Because for me personally, it's Drew McIntyre. Mm-hmm. So, and with how great Gunther is, if he was able to have such a great match, hard-hitting match with Sheamus, and with how great Drew McIntyre is, imagine the physicality of that match, along with the added athleticism that Drew McIntyre has. Mm-hmm. So from that standpoint alone, that's why I'm looking forward to this match. I mean, at this point, for Gunther, when it's 1-on-1 for the Intercontinental title, you're never gonna get a poor performance. You're always gonna get that dominance that we saw when he was the UK champion. Mm-hmm. So from that,
I mean, no shots at Sheamus, because he did rejuvenate his career last year. Like, if there's anybody that like benefited,
definitely. Oh, it's not a shot at Sheamus at all. It's that match with Sheamus was so great. And no disrespect to Sheamus, but me personally, I think Drew McIntyre is better. So with Gunther, imagine how great that match could be. But it's no slight against Sheamus at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's just a preference. I just prefer to see McIntyre than Sheamus.
Honestly, for me, Sheamus and Drew are, I don't know. It's tough to see, like, because they're very similar. But I don't know, maybe it's more stature or attitude or presence, I guess, because I feel like, definitely Drew has a bigger, like, presence, and he's like, but I feel like Sheamus has been doing it so long, I don't know, maybe it's because people are more used to it and they know his style, and then when he does have a banger, everybody's like, yo, like, every time this dude, like we just said, like, last year, he had these crazy matches, like, and, you know, sometimes where he's heel, you're like, but then it's like he has a match and you're like, yo, Sheamus can still bring it. Like, Mm-hmm. You know, kind of does what I guess Natalya just did recently, but took her too long to show to everybody.
I'm telling you, payback.
Too damn long to show everybody she could still go. But yeah, and I'm very excited for this one because I know Gunther hits hard like a motherfucker, and then Drew is just a giant force. So I love the matchup. I think future wise, I'm like, Drew needs to already, you know, coming back should already be leveling up to that like world title hunt. Same as like if you're gonna bring back Bobby Lashley, we all know Bobby Lashley should just be in that world title hunt. Like, these are the main event players, and it's just like Do we want to see Drew as IC champ? You know, yes, he's a legitimate threat to Gunther, but then at the same time, Gunther does have Imperium, and it's just like, you know, they could screw him out of that. And you know what does Drew have? Just Riddle, and Riddle just gets tossed around and whatever happens. I'd rather have them like everybody banned and then just have an all-out match, and whoever wins clean. You know, whatever. So
that's the intriguing thing about this match, because when you get neither guy can really lose right now. When you think about it,
exactly.
It's gonna be interesting to see where they go. Because if Drew loses,
I think Gunther could afford a loss right now. As much as that streak is and have the reign that he's had it for a long time. Like if he dropped it to a person like Drew McIntyre, who's a former champion, athletic, as you said, and as hard hitting as he is, and him coming back, I think that's a little bit more of an easier route. I don't think Drew can lose. I don't think you can have Drew come back and lose like that. That's the one thing.
And see, I wouldn't mind seeing a Gunther versus Seth Rollins. I feel like that would be a huge match right there.
Yeah.
And I've seen things in the past where they're so high on him that he's going to be a main event. As soon as he drops that title, he's going to be put in the main event. And I believe it easily.
In like a year or two, Gunther's going to be world champion. And he's going to have.
He has to be.
And he's going to have like a year's worth of years of reign.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Like he should, and especially just looking at Gunther, like the way he's changed his body, the way he's been impacting in the ring, he's been the most consistent probably out of everybody showing up, and it's just like. He's a top dog right now, and he should be.
Yeah.
Like him and Drew should be in that next level, and then they can figure out what to do with the Intercontinental title after that. But yeah, it's I don't think Drew can afford a loss like that. I don't think he can. He lose like that. I don't think so.
Yeah, see, and that's why. I think you're right, because Gunther losing now isn't gonna hurt. You know, everybody's gonna have to lose the title at some point, and obviously you want to go for the top prize, and it's just like,
unless you're Roman Reigns, but continue.
Yeah, maybe you should go after Roman. That'd be a sick man. Yeah, it would. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I know it's gonna be a great match, and I'm definitely gonna look forward to it. I just hope. With Drew winning that title, I hope he just gets some good rivalries. It's not just like, I'm just gonna beat whoever. It should elevate people.
Absolutely. We can keep going on here. Of course, we had a crazy matchup there with Becky Lynch and Zoey Stark, where if Becky won, she would get a rematch against Trish Stratus. If she lost, she would get a tattoo across her chest saying, "Thank you, Trish." I'm pretty sure we all knew where that was going to go. Like, that was I didn't like that stipulation. I'm like, I don't know why they tried to book it. I don't know why they tried to book it. I don't know why they tried to book it that way. It should have been like she doesn't face Trish again or something different. Like, they could have came up with something else, like a tattoo across her chest or whatever the case. Nah, that's not what they should have done. Like, they could have done something. Like, if they were going to just like try to just push this out, they could have done it like she becomes her lackey if she loses or something like that. And then Becky can wear the "Thank You Trish" shirt around, and something along that lines that could have been there, but I don't know. I thought it was an entertaining match to say the least. Becky Lynch picking up the win there. What do you guys think about that? Potentially setting up that match finally for SummerSlam. What do you guys think about that?
I'm tired. I think me and Brian got the same idea. I'm tired of this feud. End it. No mas. Get her in the title hunt, like Jesus Christ, or something.
Lewis, like I said a month ago, the names are so big that no matter how cringy or frustrating this feud gets, it's going to continue because of how big the names are.
Trish is not that big now.
Like, it's the feud is going. No matter how cringy it may seem, it's going to continue.
I don't know why you guys
I don't think it's going to be it.
No,
this feud is not going to be it.
Now
she's not a Hall of Famer. She's not a Hall of Famer. Get it right. Okay? Future, yes, but she's not a Hall of Famer.
Future, yes, but
get it right. Get it right.
You guys keep disrespecting these Hall of Famers. I thought Trish's work.
Dan, answer this question. Are you telling me you are thoroughly enjoying this feud?
Absolutely not.
So what do you mean? Oh, look at you disrespect. If it was good, I would be praising it.
I'm not disrespecting her.
That's not disrespecting. It's not disrespecting saying I don't like it. That's not disrespecting it. I'm allowed to not like it.
You guys are just hating all these Hall of Famers here.
Since when are we not allowed to say I like this feud? I don't like this feud? It's not. I'm not saying Trish is terrible,
but the disrespect towards the Hall of Famers is the thing I'm getting at.
You've agreed that her promos have been cringy and the feud is stale. You can't say I'm disrespecting her because I'm not happy with the product.
Her work over the last 2 weeks has been okay. Her involvement in the matches have been okay.
The mask.
I'll say
the mask.
Hey, I'm fine with the mask. It's a gimmick.
No, it cost her. It cost Zoey the match.
Whoa. Zoey Stark got rock bottom off the top rope. That's what cost her.
That mask is a callback to her character back in her prime.
Yeah.
You remember that? You remember that parody Super Bowl commercial they did with her, Shelton Benjamin, and Vince McMahon when she had the mask on and she
was my God.
So that's a callback to all that. So that's
I've hated any time someone has had to wear, like, I remember when Cody had the mask. I hate the fucking mask. I'm like, yo, get that shit out of here. There's obviously no one is because it broke my nose. Like, it's like the NBA or whatever. Like, no, come on. Just believing you're really gonna wrestle in a fucking mask. Like,
no, with Cody specifically, no, the scars were internal. See, you have to look at it. You looking at it saying, why is he wearing the mask? And his face is fine. But no, mentally, the scars on his face are it's internal.
Didn't Rey Mysterio break his nose?
Hey, look, man, that's what he said on the Austin podcast.
Rey Mysterio lost an eye.
and didn't wear a face mask, right?
And he just had a blacked out like slot for his eye, and then just magically got it back.
Oh my goodness!
Let's remember two things: one, it was the pandemic, and two, Vince McMahon was still in charge completely.
Yeah. I hate it. When I heard that stipulation, I was so annoyed. I'm like, what is this? I'm not watching this. I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, I don't know how anybody would have agreed. Like,
this is what we're doing.
This is the product. This is what we're selling.
Yeah. How about when he had Edge versus Randy Orton and he called it the greatest match ever? But before the match even started, happened, it was promoted as the greatest match ever. So yeah,
no ratings, no not like that was bad. Like I was so mad they did that to them. I'm like, they did not need to do that. Like people were gonna watch. People were gonna watch regardless. People were gonna watch regardless. It was Randy Orton and Edge. You didn't have to sell it. You did
that big.
And when they did that made me not want to watch it. That made me not want to watch because I'm like, this is not going to be the greatest match ever by any metric or by anything like that. That kind of derailed them there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, but going back, you're gonna go ahead, did you?
Yeah. You can go ahead. Mm-hmm.
All right. I lost my train of thought for a second.
Get rid of that match. That's all you had to say.
I'll say this. Zoey Stark has been impressive, and I like her work. She has been dope in the ring. So I'll say
if anything, you know what? You know what I would have preferred if it was at least a tag match. Oh, unless they already did that, didn't they? Or no?
All right. I remember. All right, guys. I remember exactly what I was going to say. All right, Lewis, just brace yourself. This feud is not ending anytime soon. You want to know why? Yeah, you want to know why?
It has to end here. It has to end here.
Yeah, okay. Here, let me out. By WWE logic, this is still 2-on-1, which means
Lita.
Yes,
exactly.
Oh my God.
That's why this feud is not ending, which means Becky still needs help to even the score. And there you go. And now we have Lita coming back, which in my opinion is probably going to lead to Trish against Lita in Saudi Arabia. I'm calling it.
No, they're not doing. No, they wouldn't allow that.
Oh, they're doing it.
No, it's gonna be that's gonna be the tag match in Saudi Arabia. They wouldn't let Lita and Trish go to carry each other during a match. They need a younger person to carry them.
Yeah, more than likely, it probably will be a tag team match.
Yeah.
But if they decide to have them go one-on-one, if there's any place you're going to do it, you got to do it there. Just do it there. Even though the quality of the Saudi Arabia match shows have gotten a lot better in like recent years, but incorporating the storyline instead of making it a damn glorified house show.
If it's not Lita, who is it?
No, it has to be Lita.
Your girl Natalia.
Yeah, okay, no.
That's her reinvented version after like 20 years.
Remember, technically Lita is still out.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, who do you think it could be? And I'm just throwing this out there. I know I think she's probably like with Impact for life now. But Mickie James. What if Mickie James came back?
That would be sick. That would be sick.
Like I'm just like I think she's with Impact right now. I know she dropped the belt to Dana Perrazzo. Is that her name?
Yeah. I thought didn't Naomi win the title recently?
Yeah, Naomi just recently won the title. Yeah,
she just won it. Yeah.
Yeah, so but I'm just like, if Mickie James has been out of there, I haven't seen her on Impact. She hasn't been mentioned. I'm like, she's been in the Royal Rumble when she was on Impact, so I'm like, is this a way that
with the title?
Yeah, well, maybe this is potentially a way that they can put her in there. I think that would be dope because Lita, I'm just sorry, Lita, love Lita to death, but outside the moonsault, it's not the greatest.
Her promo works way better than Trish's.
I'm feeling we're gonna get a Lita appearance at SummerSlam. I just feel.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Yeah. Or unless she screws, she screws Becky in the match, and now it's 2-0.
Yeah,
it's 3-on-1.
Oh my god!
And then she brings back the Bella Twins.
No, they're not coming back anytime soon.
Oh really?
Yeah, because they were mad that they didn't ask them to come back. I think it was for WrestleMania, or the Rumble. The Rumble.
And I think with no respect, they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. I'm tired of them. The Bellas were the worst era of wrestling. Like no.
Yo, come on.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Bellas like that. I mean, you gotta at least give them credit that they got better.
I will take Eva versus Beth Phoenix any day over that. I will take Maurice versus Mickie James over that. I will take Layla L versus Mickie James.
Tell me you said you would take Maurice.
I would take anything else over the Bella Twins. Anything else? Anything else.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll give you that much. But you have to at least admit that from how they were when they started to where they
Nikki Bella improved.
By leaps and bounds.
How are you disrespecting these Hall of Famers, Dan? How are you disrespecting these?
Are they?
They should be. They're in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
they are in the Hall of Fame.
No way.
Yep. Yes. They are in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, they are.
You know who isn't? Natalia.
It's coming.
She's still going. Okay.
When?
Oh, they're really in the Hall of Fame? Oh, that's
yes. I think it was like 2 years ago or last year. So 2 years ago.
Louis, you said when?
They don't need to be in there.
Huh?
You said when? When does Natalia get in the Hall of Fame? I think I know.
No, that's what I said. That's what I said today. Yeah, I was like, when is she going in the Hall of Fame?
Whenever WrestleMania is going to Canada.
So that's like 5 years from now. We're gonna get
whenever that time is. That's when she's gonna get inducted.
But yeah, as much as I didn't like the Divas era. I only liked it when AJ Lee was champ. And when Paige when Paige came out and actually was like running Rampage and whatever. But as much as she was another one who had her own little faction. She obviously had her sister and then Alicia Fox with her for a while. She was champ for I don't know how long. I felt like I don't know why. I felt like they gave her like the whole like kind of like John Cena push.
Well, she
whatever.
Cena at the time. So that's
exactly. So I feel like that's why she had that monster long run.
At all. That's the only reason why she was champion.
I don't know.
I hated that time. I was like, this is terrible.
I never liked the Divas title. The flower. I mean, the butterfly. I was like, I like the old woman's title. The old woman's title was nice.
Yeah.
Pretty much was a flower. I mean, shit.
Flower, butterfly, same shit.
Man, they tried so hard. Then they brought Paige up. They tried to just before the Revolution when they tried to bring Paige up to be Divas champion. They tried.
I was so shocked when Paige won the title. I was like, the days when they didn't give a shit. She won the title on the first night. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was tough.
Paige's submission was so dirty. I was like, this move is a fucking killer. I was like, that move. She should have just used that every time to everybody.
The octopus stretch?
No, she did like a sharp. Remember, it was like not a sharpshooter, but it was like she would turn forward and then like kind of rock them or whatever. Look it up. It was
okay, yeah.
Like it wasn't. The octopus stretch was AJ Lee's. Well, kind of.
Oh,
where
yeah,
she,
it was.
Then she like cranked the arm or whatever.
Yeah,
but
it was.
Paige's was crazy.
I'm mixing them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with that matchup. Potentially, most likely happen at SummerSlam. What do you guys think about Logan Paul and Ricochet interaction in the ring again? Logan Paul getting beat up.
I mean, when I was watching it, I actually said out loud, I was like, "Okay, Ricochet finally showing a little bit of pizzazz on the mic about time."
Yeah.
Realistically, that's the only thing that's holding you back right now, man.
It really is.
That's literally the only thing that's keeping you from taking the next step.
But he's never really featured to talk like that, though.
He isn't.
But now he's finally being in the feud to finally do that, though. Especially with somebody like Logan Paul. They must have a lot of trust in Ricochet to be like, "Hey, can you go one-on-one with this guy?" Granted, he's proven himself, Logan Paul, and had matches with Roman, Miz, and so forth. So to get a match with Logan Paul, that kind of does show you have to have a certain level of trust. And Ricochet, he's a pro. I love the back and forth, especially with Logan Paul, insulting the crowd, always TikToking, always doing what he does and such.
They're doing the right thing. Make him be a heel. He's a heel. Like that's how they should do it.
I mean, the only reason, I think the only time when they didn't make him a heel was against Roman and against Miz, and Miz should be a heel for the rest of his life. There was a time like back in like 2013 or something where they tried to make him a babyface. That shit felt.
He was doing the figure four.
Was when he was IC champ, something like that, or no?
Miz, be a heel forever. No, you're just a natural heel from your background and all the shit that you've done and such. From who you're watching. You're a heel for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's why Logan Paul had to be a babyface against him, and then Roman. We don't even need to talk about Roman. As far as being a heel,
like you said, though, Ricochet's missing that. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's missing like a Dolph Ziggler, just spilling his heart promo, I feel like when he was talking about the whole professionalism thing, he should have gone harder in terms of do you know how long I've been doing this? I've won titles around the world. I wanted that type of promo, and it was just oh yeah, you've been great and this and that, but I've sacrificed for this. And I was like, okay, but it's just give me some nitty gritty, give me some passion, give me some let me feel it, shit. and I feel like a lot of times when he talks, he's kind of reading off a cue card, kind of, and I'm like, dude, give me some raw, you're on Raw, give me some raw emotion, So and you can do these amazing things. Just give I feel like if he gives that and I feel like it's happened with everybody. We're like, hey, listen to this promo. Oh shit, this dude is spilling his soul, and that gives you that support. And I feel like that's what he's been missing for a long time. Same with like Apollo. Like Apollo, just give me.
He did
something.
that in NXT.
Oh, but NXT,
he did that.
He did it, and it's towards the wrong crowd because now nobody remembers it.
If they were gonna do this to him, they should, like Daniel said, they should just kept him down to NXT, allow him to have great matches. They could have had a long feud between him and Braun Breaker.
Facts.
The feud against Carmelo Hayes again with the NXT title. There's so much they could have done in their NXT with him, and they were just going to bring him up to the main roster just to shit on him all over again. And the fact that we haven't had an Apollo sighting cruise, Apollo Crews sighting since like
the draft.
Yeah, and we haven't seen him in action since then, unless you're watching Main Event or something. Like,
that's crazy. He's too talented not to be on the card, though. Like, I just don't understand that part. I don't care what they say about charisma or whatever the case may be. Shelton Benjamin didn't have charisma like that, but when you put him on TV and you put him in the ring, it was entertaining. When you put Apollo Crews in the ring and you let him go, it's entertaining. So I don't understand why.
For the record, as much as people didn't like the Nigerian gimmick, I actually thought it was funny. Like I'll never forget when he did the interview with Big E. He was like, "I'm going to crack your face and reach out to the warriors reach out to the Nigerian warrior within me." I'll never forget when he did that. It was funny.
I'm sorry, but the whole Nigerian thing, like
Panther, like what was that?
It would have been, you know what? It would have been better. It would have been better if they pulled a Kofi where like he came out speaking with the accent and then got rid of it. But for him to, we know who you are, Apollo, and out of nowhere you just got an accent.
What they should have done was like the King.
He's actually African, so it was believable, but still, like it came out of nowhere.
What they should have done was like the King Booker gimmick when he would be talking in a certain way.
Yeah, King Booker.
And then break character when some shit happens. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's what they should have done with that, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So they went too far left into it. But again, he's too talented not to be on the card. Like, speaking about that, like Mustafa Ali, who else is there? Who's in that triple threat? And Wesley are in the triple threat with
Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander is another one. Yeah, like all these other guys that they can be doing something. I've heard something like they're thinking. Somebody suggested that Big Swole should join the Hurt Business if they were to come back, and I'm like, they can't do that because they're kind of off on Shelton and Cedric. But I saw somebody saying that they kind of rode them out the path.
I don't think Big Swole has any like interest in going back to a big league product anymore. Anyway,
I don't think.
She had a falling out with AEW. I think Tony Khan had said she was like lazy or something. And some. I don't
even remember who Big Swole is.
She's Cedric Alexander's wife.
Yes,
she used to have like the red braids.
She was on AEW.
She was on AEW for a bit.
Do you remember a feud that like Britt Baker had with Big Swole when that match at the dentist office?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Big Swole. Yeah, during those.
that was the nail in the coffin, pretty much. But they were like, nah, we can't. But you guys are saying just there's too many talented people there that they're not using in some type of capacity, especially like Apollo, who should be in the Intercontinental title. Imagine a match with Gunther and the type of match that they can have, the athletic ability they could have, and stuff like that. Definitely missing that. So definitely the SummerSlam card is taking shape here. I want to get into